All right, we've got important immigration news to cover. I'm Brian Manning, asylum lawyer and ex-government asylum officer, and I'm here to keep you informed of developments of interest to the immigrant community. Now, I'm going to take you over to my screen and start with this news item from CBS News. It says, military allows ICE to detain migrants inside base in Denver area ahead of expected immigration sweeps. So what does this mean? Well, the Defense Department has approved ICE's request to use Colorado's Buckley Space Force Base for detaining undocumented immigrants. The Aurora base will serve as a temporary detention facility during upcoming operations in the Denver area. This decision comes as the Trump administration significantly expands the military's role in immigration enforcement, including deploying 1,500 additional troops to the southern border and using military aircraft for deportation flights. An internal CBP, Customs and Border Protection memo, indicates that the administration is considering deploying up to 10,000 troops to the border and using additional military installations for migrant detention. This is kind of scary stuff because the U.S. military is not supposed to be involved in domestic law enforcement, in law enforcement issues in the United States. And they're getting dangerously close to that with Trump's deportation efforts. All right, this next piece is from the New York Times. Oklahoma moves to require schools to ask students immigration status. Oklahoma's State Board of Education has approved a controversial rule requiring public schools to request proof of citizenship or immigration status during student enrollment. While the measure cannot legally prevent undocumented students from attending school, it mandates districts to track and report numbers of students lacking citizenship documentation. Now, this policy, championed by State Superintendent Ryan Walters, aims to assist the Trump administration's immigration enforcement efforts, marking a significant departure from many other school districts' non-cooperative stance on immigration enforcement. By the way, if you've been waiting for years for an asylum interview with USCIS, then let me know about it in the comments and let me know how long you've been waiting. We might have a way to get your stalled asylum case unstuck. All right. Okay, back to the news update. We're moving on to this from The Guardian, actually, in the UK. No rebuilding without them. Trump's immigration crackdown will affect disaster recovery. So, the Trump administration's expanded immigration enforcement could severely impact recovery efforts in communities devastated by climate-related disasters. Immigrant workers form the backbone of the nation's disaster restoration workforce. With thousands of homes destroyed by wildfires in Los Angeles and hurricane damage across multiple states, the timing of increased immigration raids threatens to create significant labor shortages in affected areas. Experts warn that mass deportations would significantly delay rebuilding efforts and increase costs for disaster-affected families. Moving on, Florida. This one's reporting from AP. Florida lawmakers passed sweeping immigration bill to help with Trump crackdown. So Florida's Republican-controlled legislature has passed a sweeping immigration bill allocating $500 million to support President Trump's immigration enforcement efforts, despite opposition from Governor Ron DeSantis, who called the measure too weak. Now, the legislation requires all levels of government to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement and creates a new state immigration office. This bill provides $100 million in grants for immigration-related activities and $375 million for federal cooperation programs around immigration. We've got this piece from NBC News. Immigration raids surprise New York City residents. Early morning immigration raids in New York City's Bronx neighborhood mark the latest phase of heightened immigration enforcement under the Trump administration. ICE officers, accompanied by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, arrested at least one undocumented person in the High Bridge section. While officials claimed the target had serious criminal charges, recent data actually shows that around half of ICE arrests involve individuals without criminal records. Now, with these alarming developments, it's more important than ever to ensure that you have proper legal representation for your asylum case. Under the Trump administration, the immigration system is becoming increasingly restrictive and punitive. Don't risk your future in America. Get professional help now, okay? If you want to talk about your case, if you think that you might want help securing your future in America through asylum, then please go ahead right now and schedule a consultation. You can reach out to us online is the best way to do this. Go over to winasylum.com, 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 and you can schedule an asylum strategy session with one of our asylum professionals. I'm Brian Manning, and as always, it's a pleasure and it's really an honor to support you in your asylum journey.